Shut up. Shut up. Listeners, I got new wheels.
Mari Karambu Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 153 of Anipro. And on this week's episode, we are reviewing Blockade Battlefront in our second half. We've also got a mailbag question, kind of an interesting one. It's a patron priority mailbag. We'll get to that later. Before we get into anything, of course, hit the like button, subscribe. You know the drill. You've watched YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You've listened to podcasts. You know how
Go
this
up
works.
to your best friend and say, hey,
I
got a
best friend.
podcast for you.
I love you, first of all.
Give him a little kiss.
Podcast for you. Yeah.
First of all, hello, best friend. Kiss him on the lips as you do with your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how friendly you are with them, maybe use some tongue, but like that's up to you.
Well, I mean, it's your best friend,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they deserve a little tongue.
How much tongue is too much tongue?
More than a little.
Yeah. So, hey, if you like conversation like this,
Where could they possibly
subscribing.
find more conversation like this?
On AniPro and at our Discord, if you want to be specific, come on down to our Discord. We got conversations going on. Now, gentlemen, I do enjoy throwing it to you guys, but I just kind of want to say, hey, like, my depravity has found a new low,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm segueing into a bit of a manga check-in so that I can. This is like a therapy session for me. You know, I
Okay.
need to get something off my chest. So, that being said,
Yeah. Okay.
that all being said, I'm not going to go first because I'm a coward.
Mm-hmm.
We know.
How about Mike goes first?
I was gonna
Like,
say,
what
would you like
coward-
to confess your sins, my son?
Yeah.
But I guess
Yeah.
Not
Well,
yet.
You can,
Not
I
yet.
would like to.
Oh, you would? Please,
please,
have the
please.
the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I've committed the sin of completing an ecchi romance manga in essentially 2 or 3 sittings.
Yes.
Yes.
And to add to my sins, the romance is between a teacher and his underage students. Womp
Anime.
womp. Yeah, good old, good old
Yes.
anime manga. I read recently all of Gal Gohan, and it was delightful, gentlemen. I highly recommend it to anyone who can look past the
Is it
the
a
age gap problem.
is it a gender swap Dragon Ball Dojin?
No. It is not. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Took you a second, but you got it.
Yeah.
We got there.
No, you had to say the name of the manga for me to understand your joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more on me.
But I think
Yeah,
I
more
think
indicative
I
of
think
me.
the actual like translation would be like gal meal or meal gal maybe.
Yeah.
Because she's a gyaru. Basically, it's like this gyaru who like she's upset because like everyone kind of gives up on her because she's just kind of like a dumb bimbo is in how she looks at it. And then like everyone just kind of is like, oh, you don't have to actually try. We know you're just like a dumb bimbo. Don't worry. And it's like, and eventually like she goes to this, her last thing is she goes to this cooking class where like this teacher's like, he kind of does that. And then he sees that it like upsets her. So then he's like, oh, you know what? It's okay. Like I'll let you try again. Like you can try again and I'll give you a shot. And then she's like, oh, I love you. And then it continues. It's just, if you like Dress Up Darling, it's kind of a very similar vibe with like the very straight-laced male lead with like the very like no apologies, just like bold, brash Gyaru girl.
Like the Valley Girl kind of type.
Yeah, the Gyaru. Yeah. And it's great. It's really good. I really like it. And then if you're still upset about the main lead being a teacher and the female lead being a student, and it sort of turns into like a pseudo harem type situation where there's like a few girls that like this teacher.
I mean, it would, yeah.
Exactly. Jay, you'll be pleased to know that one of them is a Kyudere, so She's the
see.
president. She's the president who is quite very reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And then our Gyaru girl actually kind of gets her to like open up and be a little more passionate and emotional, and it's very nice. But if you're
nice.
as I was saying, if you're a little like if you're like still reserved, you're like, that's kind of creepy, teacher student. Yes, it is. In the real world, definitely don't. That's definitely not good.
Yeah.
But in the anime world, like, I mean, it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I like
it
Fruits
is.
Basket. It happens in Fruits Basket too.
Yeah, and I mean they're all related in Fruits Basket, which makes it even weirder.
Even weirder. Yeah, even weirder.
And I mean, hey, it has a 105% on any list. So, like, I mean,
yeah.
What?
I wanted to see if that would just like go under the radar with that, but no, it's a 72%.
Well, that's not bad too.
You're talking about Gal Gohan, right?
Yeah.
Fruits Basket's like way higher than 72. But as I was saying, the thing that kind of like will redeem it for you if you're a skeptic here is the teacher is very like upfront about like, I will not do anything. You are my student. That is not proper. And even like, even after graduation, you're still my student. That's weird. And he retains that for like basically the whole series. So like that.
Okay. There's a little bit of integrity there.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's heartwarming, I would say. It's a very heartwarming story with lots of like feels, lots of characters learning who they are. It's a coming of age story. I think Cole, you might have checked out a chapter or two of it too.
I checked out a bit, yeah, because you did mention it a few weeks ago on the pod as well, and I'm glad that you pushed through and you enjoyed it because
not even pushed through. I couldn't put it down.
I checked out a bit of it, and you know me, I like to spoil myself. And I found the end, and I'm glad that you pushed through, and you enjoyed this depraved. Just it really says a lot about you.
Okay, I was trying to figure out like where he was going with this, and I see he's taking it to an avenue of shame. Is what
I will say though, like reading like these kinds of manga does add character. Like if you just watch like the like if you just watch like the normie picks, you know, like the ones that like everyone says is like the good stuff.
Then you wind up with like an Elon Musk best
anime. Yeah, but like if you got like Gal
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, but like if you got like Gal Gohan on there, suddenly people will look at that and go like, "Oh, there's some personality to this."
This guy's a bit of a freak.
Yeah, this guy's a little kinky. Would you say it has good taste? It's a tasteful pick.
I see what you're trying to do.
It's about cooking.
I see what you're trying to do, and I refuse to accept it and allow you to do that.
Well, that's too bad. It's also a seinen. I think that's part of what kind of makes it.
Yeah.
I do like a seinen, and it's very rare that you get a seinen ecchi love story. Yeah, I feel like it's not a common. Like this is more of a shonen trope. I would feel this.
It's usually more of a shonen trope. Yeah. Well, Mike.
Tell any Cole.
I
want to know how much of a dirty pervert you are.
All right, guys. I don't know what came over me. So let's say you got a crush on a girl. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
And she's got I don't know, she's got like bangs that like cover her eyes and stuff. And you catch her sleeping in the classroom. And
where is this going?
You wake her up. And then she's like, "Oh, okay, time to go home." So she leaves, but like she left behind like a puddle of drool on her desk.
I think I know where this is going.
What would you do? What would you do as a sane person?
I'm going to tell you what I wouldn't do, Cole. And I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. Like this, I'm going to make it clear.
Jay does.
No idea.
Jay does, because this is a famous thing.
Yeah. I am the normie. I have no idea what's going on. I wouldn't lick it.
Well, I know exactly which manga you're reading, Cole.
Well, the main character of this manga would taste it. And
I had a feeling.
I was
like, what's the weirdest thing that someone could do with that pile of drool?
Yeah.
And the answer is consume it.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you think I'm reading?
Is it Mysterious Girlfriend X?
It sure is. I don't know what it was. Like, I was grossed out, of course, as you would be.
Yeah.
Because they put way too much art into like
the drool.
But I
Wow.
don't know. Something about it was like very. I don't know. I don't
You
know
like-
what it
you-
was.
Are you saying you liked it?
No. Well, no, I didn't mind the manga. It didn't like awaken anything in me. I just want to be
okay.
clear.
That's what I was getting.
And
That's what I
I'm-
was getting at.
And I'm not saying that like ironically or anything. Like it
Okay.
genuinely didn't. It's gross. But I don't know, like the everything other than the drool thing seemed like very, I don't know, like genuine in their relationship, like these two awkward kids,
Like they have good chemistry together.
yeah, but like bad chemistry as well. Like it reminds me of like a real relationship in a way. Like they've got good chemistry and they obviously care about each other, but like sometimes, you know, they butt heads because they don't quite see eye to eye, and it's very interesting. So I read, I think like the first 40 chapters or something like that, and then I kind of just fell off. Interesting too, like it's a very famous manga, got an anime
I've never heard of
adaptation
this
as
one.
well. And it just kind of stops. It just
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on a second
it
here.
just
I
stops. It doesn't end. It stops.
I googled Mysterious Girlfriend X drool, and there's a whole article about it. And it says here that the main character offers her drool to the main guy here during their daily drool routine.
Yeah.
Enlighten me, Cole. What is this
Yeah.
daily drool
So-
routine?
The whole drool thing is like they're so like in sync with each other. Like their feelings have made it so that he requires her drool,
I can't,
or else he'll
see,
go into like withdrawal.
I don't know.
In
I
addition
just
to
doesn't
the
seem like something that would happen. I don't know.
in addition to the let me continue.
Okay.
Not only does he require the drool, but it's also a way for this girl who has a tendency of like not being able to express herself, her emotions very well.
Okay.
She can express her feelings through the drool. He feels her feelings when he tastes her drool, Mike.
Is that what this is called, a drool bond? Because I'm reading
Yes.
that word on here. Okay. There's like
Yes.
powers to the drool swapping. Okay.
So it's like swap spit, but like the PG-13 way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, swapping spit is also probably PG-13. This is probably closer
Cole.
to like.
You don't even hold hands before marriage or till after marriage, let alone.
You are right.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like it is interesting, like as well, like I believe this is also a sign-in. And it's kind of also like it's a metaphor for kind of like that, dare I say, we're going to get demonetized for this one, but kind of that sexual awakening that like people have at that age, you know? So it's I don't know, there's some subtext. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
Cole, relax.
I'm 15 and this is deep.
I'm just trying to justify this weird manga I read. But you know what?
You don't have to
It's one of those
justify it.
things. I think
No,
if
you can enjoy it.
if you get to this point where I'm at, I think I would think this is borderline like a must read to like get into the weird stuff. of
Can I tell you
Okay.
what magazine or what manga are also in the same magazine as this manga?
Absolutely, I would love to know.
All right, so this manga was in the same magazine as Mushishi, Parasite, Vinland Saga, and Land of the Lustrous.
One of these things is not like the others.
Well, I wouldn't
And it's
call
this
it
one. It's Mysterious Girlfriend X.
I wouldn't call it a bad manga. Like I wouldn't say that it's
No,
bad.
No,
it's
it's
just
like
it's just like there's a massive hurdle you gotta get
yeah.
over.
Yeah. So I guess the theme for this opening bit here is that it's like manga with like a weird thing you got to get over to enjoy. Because honestly,
Yeah.
this one's higher rated than mine. I talked about mine was like
Yeah.
72. This one's 75. So
Yeah, I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on
Well-
it. It was a page turner for sure.
I do see that like the number one recommendation for people who like this is Call of the Night on AniList.
yeah, I could see
So
that.
and you're
Yeah.
you're famously a Call of the Night guy, so that
Yeah.
there's a thin line there somewhere.
Okay,
I guess you could
all right.
say that the monster inside the two of you has grown.
Oh yeah, it has.
Oh yeah. Is that a
Look at
segue,
me.
Jay? What would
Look
you
at
like to
me.
talk about?
Jay,
So
what monster thing would you like to talk about?
I've also been reading a manga lately.
What?
And,
I just about spat out my drink.
No way. Jay, reading a manga?
oh my god, you could never believe it. But it is another manga that you have to get over a large hurdle to be able to enjoy it. And that is Naoki Urasawa's Monster.
And what, pray, is the large hurdle to enjoy this very acclaimed, very beloved classic manga by one of probably the greatest mangaka of all time, in my opinion?
Understanding that it's not the same as like your typical anime, and it's like
Okay.
actually like
Okay.
kind of like
Heavy?
heavy, and you can give it to like someone who doesn't watch anime and they'd still like probably enjoy it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Monster's one of those things where like it's been there. I've had every opportunity to read or watch it, especially now that it's on Netflix, the anime, I should say. But I haven't. I'm reading weird manga about people who swap spit.
Yeah,
Sell me on
Monster, and I assume all of Urasawa's works are like this, but like they're just like pits. Like their stories are just like bottomless pits that like you like when you start, you look down into the pit, and as you keep going, you just like kind of trip and fall into it.
Mhm.
And the whole story is just you keep like you're just falling and falling and falling further into this endless pit.
Falling, flailing.
Yeah.
He's so good at making, because if Urasawa also did Pluto, which was on Netflix just recently. I think, did it come out this year or did it come out last year?
Last
I don't
year.
remember. Last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, his manga are always like, they make you ask questions about yourself and humanity and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like such great character pieces, while also just pulling you in on this, like, you're just being, like Jay said, you're just like on this train to the bottom of just like psychological intrigue. And in this one, it has like one of the best antagonists of all time.
I'd say, like, in my opinion, I'd say Johan's like the best villain in anime or manga.
Yeah. He's
up there
essentially,
he's up there. Yeah.
yeah, he's essentially Hannibal Lecter, but like a little scarier, a little creepier, honestly. And being creepier than a dude who eats people is kind of saying something,
Yeah.
I'd say. Because he's truly like a monster.
He truly is.
Yeah.
I got to one of the famous panels of him where he's like holding the wine glass or whatever, or the wine bottle.
Okay.
That one too. I got to that one too. But he was holding the wine bottle, and like that scene is just like both of those scenes are crazy good. And I think it's the mark of a great villain when you don't even need to be there. Like when they don't even need to be there, and you're still like, this guy's terrifying.
It's crazy because he's like, you actually don't see him very much in the manga itself. He's just pulling strings. And
Yeah.
you just know that he's out there and he's pulling strings. And it's so ominous. Yeah.
And like it's a intricately woven web that he's created, that like he's got so many pieces moving at the same time. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. I need to watch that manga, or I need to watch that anime actually. I've read the manga, but like I've heard the anime for like a 2004 anime still holds up like remarkably well.
I've heard that too. And I mean, it's Madhouse, and like mid 2000s Madhouse was like the best studio.
Yeah.
I
mean, like, it's what, 50 some episodes, I think. Like, to me, that doesn't surprise me that it holds up. Like, there's anime from back then that I would pit up against the modern stuff.
Especially when you see
probably
Madhouse, like Jay said, mid 2000s. Basically Madhouse back in the day was like very reliable still.
Yeah.
As they still are.
I also have Asadora sitting in my manga stack that I'm gonna get to after I finish Monster.
Okay.
So
I haven't checked that one out yet. I really should.
So should I read the manga or should I watch the anime?
I'd
watch
say
the anime.
Yeah, it's either probably both good. So like take your pick, but like I like the manga. I haven't seen the anime.
Okay, I'll flip a coin.
Said
you both.
I said watch the anime because Jay and I have both. I've read the whole thing. I'm assuming Jay's about midway through.
I'm 10 volumes in. Yeah.
Yeah, you're about halfway then, because I think there's 21 volumes. But I just said watch the anime, so we'd have a person we have both sides of the spectrum here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting way to like review something.
Yeah, like
One
two
of
people
us
have
has
read
read
it.
the manga and two
Read
of
it
us have
versus.
Don't
watched
give
it
Jay
or something
ideas.
like that.
He's like,
I
then
don't
I can get out of watching anime. I could just read things.
I could just read
No,
the manga.
Yeah,
Jay'd be the one watching every time. Every time.
yeah.
It's,
Out of
I'm
punishment.
never reading the manga.
Yeah, he's never allowed. He's never allowed to read the manga. He's like in chastity.
I'm gonna be honest though, there are so many anime and manga that I'm just waiting for the two of you to make me watch and read.
Tell us what they are.
Well.
I'll tell you both off air.
Okay.
How about you tell us right now so that we know our next review will be something that Jay feels we're going to force him to watch.
This is just Jay's secret way of like manipulating us into making the next 10 reviews exactly what he wants them to be.
No, I don't know.
Schemes.
I've been wanting to read Goodnight Poon, but like I feel like one of you is going to be like, let's review that.
That'd
That's
be
fair.
a tough one to. Yeah.
That's
I
a
could
tough
see
one
that.
to review.
Yeah.
Mm.
These books, there's a reason why I haven't opened them.
I realized recently that like
scared.
the outline of Poon is is collaged on all the spines, which is really
Yes.
cool.
And you'll
Wonderful.
notice, Jay, that the dots, the numbers, the name and number of each of the volumes is a downward trajectory.
Yeah,
They descend.
It descends downward on Poon,
I've
much
noticed
like
that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because the sun's setting.
Yeah, like the sun.
yeah,
like the sun. Yeah.
Or
And
Poon
nothing
Poon's-
else.
Yeah, nothing
Nothing
else.
else.
Nothing else. Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
you know what else has monsters?
Scooby Doo.
Well, yes,
Uh,
that, but also just like some anime worlds, like fantasy worlds. I was asked to come up with a segue. That was the segue I came up with.
I was just gonna say we asked you to come up with a segue, and you nailed it. I can't
Yeah.
believe you executed it so flawlessly.
Yeah, no,
That
it was
was-
perfect. It was
Wow.
perfect.
Wow. Like, you know when it's a good segue? When it's like the segue itself becomes a topic of conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good.
This is S tier segue.
No,
We should do a
exactly,
segue tier
exactly.
list.
Yeah.
But you know what? Instead of talking about the segue itself, let's talk about anime worlds.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
yes.
let's do that.
So,
Like some of our favorite anime worlds.
well, yeah.
maybe.
What are some of your favorite anime worlds? Maybe not like necessary to live in, but like just anime worlds that you thought were like cool or interesting
Yeah.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't you lead us off, Jay?
Sure. I mean, you gotta be. You can't talk about anime worlds and not talk about One Piece. I feel like One Piece has like one of the most interesting wide worlds in anime and manga. I mean, it's been going on for 27 years at this point.
Arguably fiction. I'll give it that. Okay?
It
'Cause
is
everybody says
arguably fiction.
No, I mean, like it's one of the best worlds, arguably in fiction.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were saying I heard it's arguably fiction. I'm like, yeah,
I heard that too.
Pretty,
No, that's
pretty strong argument about that one.
inarguably
Yeah.
fiction. Yeah.
But I'd say it's arguably peak fiction, and it's partially because of the world building of it. It's just so One Piece. And Jay, you kind of stole my immediate gut answer, because it's, and rightfully so, because it's honestly one of the best worlds in anime and manga. It gets the detail that Oda has put into both planning of events and timelines, and just like how everything works is just frankly like mind blowing. I don't know how he does it, but I love that he does.
And like even though all the arcs have like the characters are in different outfits and everything, every arc, it still feels like it's all one massive world. Even though you're sailing from island to island, you can still like feel like the impact of something going on like halfway across the world where Luffy and the gang are. And then like also like the power systems are really cool, how like the devil fruits work, how hockey works and everything.
Yeah.
It's just a very, very whimsical and fun world. Maybe not the best world to live in, but
it's
There's
cool.
there's
You
there's
vibe
worse
with
worlds
it.
to live in, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
You vibe with it, and I appreciate that. My first answer then will be similar to Jay's because I vibe with it. I don't know if I've told you guys, but I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know if I've told you.
Yeah.
No, really?
A few times, yeah. You've
Yeah.
also played it a few times.
You
And-
have.
Well, this is my
This is
third,
like a
but
three-
I started a new playthrough. I'm nuts. I'm crazy. I'm not going to go with Edge Runners though. Don't worry.
Okay.
I feel like that would be a cop out. You can play the game, whatever. I'm going to go with Psychopaths though, and the
Okay.
reason for that is similar to Jay's, like just the aesthetic of like cyberpunk, and to me in anime, like nothing really epitomizes that. Like Ghost in the Shell maybe, but like there's something about the Psychopaths aesthetic to me that's like cooler. I don't know, more futuristic, where like Ghost in the
onto
Shell is kind
something.
of Ghost in the Shell is more like, that dirty, grimy cyberpunk, where like Psychopaths is like everything's clean, but everything is dirty, like beneath the surface. You know?
It kind of
And
feels like idealistic cyberpunk, or like it's like how it would function in the maybe how like a realistic cyberpunk would be. Like it's not gonna obviously be so doom and gloom.
yeah,
That as soon as you peel a little sticker off the surface, and it's like, oh yeah, that's messed
It's like
up.
a scratch
yeah,
and sniff.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
scratch
yeah,
and sniff,
you-
but for stinky
Yeah.
cyberpunk.
Yeah, you're gonna need to look into that. That's what you
Yeah.
do when you're looking under the. No, you got a
That's
real
not good.
problem there. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
Uh,
sweep it under the stove.
And I mean, like just the Dominator, like the gun from Cyberpunk 2, like it's so cool. And it's just,
Psychopaths too, I think you mean.
yes,
Yeah,
Psychopath. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, good.
Just wonderful, really cool aesthetics.
Yeah,
to it.
I'm not even a massive like Psychopaths guy, but I feel like the world is probably the part that sells me on it, because it's just like it's kind of something that's been done a few times, and that's justifiably so, because it's like a cool concept.
Yeah.
Honestly, just like a world where like basically you have social credit, and your base essentially like your ability to exist in the society is determined by some system, some algorithm. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, and it just takes you for a ride as well. Just the anime itself. But Mike, do you got a world that you'd like to help us discover?
Oh boy, do I
can show you the world.
shining,
shimmering, splendid.
Splendor.
Is it Splendors?
It's splendid.
Splendor.
It's splendid.
That doesn't
There's
make any
just no-
sense, Jay.
It's
There's
splendid.
just no way to know.
Anyway,
There's just
Mike,
no way to know.
Jay's gonna look it up.
Jay's gonna
Jay's gonna look it
I'll
up.
tell you
Why
about
don't you
my
tell? Yeah.
yeah. For me, honestly, the worlds of anime are probably one of the best things about anime, because you can do anything with them. It's really like one of the coolest parts. And for me, one of the coolest anime worlds, other than One Piece, is probably Pokemon. Honestly, I think Pokemon excels in being like such a cool and unique world, and it does a lot of stuff that's like it lets you kind of decide some things. It lets you put a lot of stuff into your head canon. It doesn't explicitly lay out a lot of stuff. And I just find that the way that like, I don't know, there's something about having these people coexisting with these characters, like these monsters, and just like, they can either be scary, or they can be your best friend, or they can basically be just like a clerk in a store. And they really like, it's just so varied and unique. And there's like 1,000 something characters. So that helps populate the world. But I just find like there's something so cool about it. Each of the regions is so unique and distinct.
I was just gonna bring up the regions. Yeah, that just leads to like the world being way bigger than
How like there are ever-present mysteries in Pokemon, like, and it started at like the beginning with introducing Ho-Oh in episode 1 of the anime, and the Pokedex had no idea what it was.
Yeah, and they didn't tell you. They were just like, we don't know either, buddy. You're not gonna find out for a while.
Oh, you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out.
Not yet though.
Everyone thought it was
not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good too. And like the other great thing about it is like it listen, I'm gonna break your guys' hearts, everyone, including my two co-hosts. Pokemon is for children.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
you mean
no.
the,
I'll let that sink in.
you mean the
Wait,
world where you go on a journey when you're 10 years old is meant for children?
Jay. No, what I was getting at though, it's a world made for children, but like it shows kids like the possibilities of like worlds in fiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
beauty of it.
And
Go ahead.
it fosters so much imagination from like the sprawling areas with like all the different creatures that like you could have. All the fantasies of like, oh, what team would I have? What Pokemon would I want to catch? Where would I want to go? What would I want to do?
Exactly what I was going to say, Jay. It
And
just
the
lets-
Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
there's just so much like that, like I said, it's just so much headcanon you can build into it where it's just like it just puts this world out there. It's so rich, but it just kind of gives you just enough, and then you can like kind of build your own little world onto it almost.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah.
What were you
And
gonna
of course, I was just going to say the most important thing that it fosters a need to spend money on your favorite franchise.
What? No.
I've probably even got Pokemon stuff.
I know.
in here.
That's the
There's
thing.
there's a reason why people always say like if I were to be transported to a world, I'd want to go to the Pokemon world.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
No,
I do have
that's a
more
good pick.
though. So I'm curious if Jay, first of all, did you look up the fact that you didn't tell us what the answer was?
Oh,
leads
I
me to
did look it
believe-
up. I was waiting for a moment to sneak it in there, but it is splendid.
No, it's not. I
Oh,
refuse
it's
to
not.
accept that.
I don't believe it. What is your next?
Jay,
You
do
look
you
it
have
up
another
yourself then.
What's your best?
No, I'm
what's
not
your
going
next
to.
best world?
It's all up
Yeah.
here. I see your reality
And substitute.
And substitute.
and I
my own.
substitute my own. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jay,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah.
I've seen Dungeon Master. So yeah, this one wouldn't have been able to make it onto this list until like last year. But that's Scott Pilgrim. I think that Video Game Canada, where people just fight each other randomly, is really cool.
That is what Canada's
That's
like.
what Canada is like. Yeah,
Yeah.
And when you beat people up, they burst into coins.
that happens.
That's what Canada's like. Yeah.
That's what Canada's like. Yeah.
You walk
Have you
down
been
the
to
street of
Canada?
Saskatoon and you just,
Yeah.
hey, look out, bud.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
I
just
got
hanging
hit by a
around
car. It just transformed.
Mm.
He's like Sonic. Rings and coins just pop out of him.
I've seen it in downtown Moose Jaw. A guy got run over by a car. Rings everywhere. Coins
Yeah,
everywhere.
Rings and
Yeah.
coins. Rings and loonies.
And then you get points.
Loonies. Yeah. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
points involved
yeah,
for sure.
obviously. Yeah.
On their driver's license. Yeah.
No, I mean,
No.
again, though, like just
No,
that
Scott Pilgrim's cool.
super creative, world that was.
Yeah,
built there.
it's a video gamey world that like integrates itself into reality, but like just like the little things of like Scott, like you'll get a character will get something and it'll be like, you got this, and it's just like I don't know. The thought of living in a video game world has always been like a
dream.
childhood dream of mine. So like when Scott Pilgrim did it, it was like, oh yeah, this is my dream. This is
why this is my favorite thing.
This is what I wanted to do when I was a kid.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely. Now I'm gonna come clean with you guys. I'm gonna break everybody's heart again. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I've never seen or read or anything Scott Pilgrim.
You should.
Now, Jay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jay.
It's okay. I've never seen Psychopaths.
Shh, I'm sorry.
This is we're coming clean today. We're coming clean. Yeah.
But and I don't know why. I don't know why I haven't. Everything about it seems cool. You know, it's based in Canada. The movies, Michael Cera, and
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright directed it. I know you're like a bigger Edgar Wright head than I am, but like I like his stuff too.
Yeah.
I feel like Cole, you'd actually probably like both the movie and the anime. I just feel I feel like you'd like them, even though like the movie they're both campy as hell, but in like a charming way.
I like camp. I like camp if it's done well. And I mean the music aspect of everything. Cody Bott always points out that Scott Pilgrim plays a Rickenbacker bass.
Yeah,
How did
sweet.
this high school student get a Rickenbacker bass? Those are like
Who has
He's
super
not
expensive.
in high school.
No, he's not in high school.
Oh, he's not? Oh,
No,
okay.
he's an
Then
adult.
carry
He's
on.
22.
Jay, I've just realized something. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you've realized this long ago.
Yeah.
You were teasing me for liking Gohan, because it featured a adult dating a high schooler.
Yeah, but like the whole thing is Scott is an asshole.
Is he? I thought
Yeah.
Scott's
He's kind of
Scott's
a
a
jerk.
cool guy.
He's a dick.
He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, never mind then.
And then he
Take
learns to
everything
not
back.
be a jerk.
Yeah, he learns to like actually be a good guy.
Sort
Okay.
of.
He
Yeah.
earns the power of love.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
The power of friendship is strong.
does it say you got love?
It says Scott earned the power of love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta watch this movie.
It's like I said,
And then he
it's
gets a stat
delightfully
boost.
campy. Yeah. It's campy.
A stat
it's nice.
boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've got another one for you guys,
All right.
Okay.
Let it rip.
and I'm gonna cop out. Okay.
Okay.
As you
I'm
always
sorry.
do. You're entitled to.
You got
I'm
it.
sorry, but I want to live in a world where I live in like semi-rural Japan in
Mhm.
high school, a la Nagatoro, a la
I was thinking
Tagaki.
of Bakuman, maybe?
just general, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you live in a big town,
Mhm.
but like it's not so big. You can walk around. There's not
Like
people
suburban
everywhere.
Japan.
Yeah, there's something so like
Your name.
yeah. There's something
Okay.
so like nostalgic about it. Even though, of course, I grew up in rural Canada,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of maybe
Ru-
I have that
rural-
nostalgia for it.
Ruralness kind of transcends culture, I feel, because it's sort of like you kind of have that like it's wide open spaces.
Mhm.
It's nature. It's kind of like
Mhm.
quaint in a way, and I feel like that transcends all cultures. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe now that I'm saying this, maybe I just want to go back. Maybe I just want to go back.
Move back
Uh,
home. Live on live on
Yeah,
your
no.
birth street. Never leave your hometown. My Neighbor Totoro also is a delightfully quaint little small town
Mhm.
rural Japan story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something about it is so like comforting when you watch them. And it's
Mhm.
usually some like goofy slice of life thing too that
Mhm.
just and I'm into that. I'm into all of that. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's
Yeah,
nice,
it's
you know?
nice. It's nice.
Yeah, what about you, Mike? What's your next one?
Probably the next one I would come up with that I think is just kind of a cool world that I'd like to live in is Cowboy Bebop. And I feel like before
okay.
your Cowboy Bebop hater glasses come out, I do think it is in today's day and age maybe a little overrated. Yeah, Jay pushed up his glasses. I do think that the world building that I think it's Shinichi Watanabe is the name.
Shinichi Watanabe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The world that he establishes in it is so cool. It's like kind of cyberpunky. It's kind of like futuristic. It's kind of like noir feeling too. And these characters just kind of like they're so personable, but they just exist in this cool world. And I feel like the world honestly is the whole appeal of Cowboy Bebop to me is just like these cool characters. They're super unique and like flamboyant. And they're just like existing in this cool cyberpunk future kind of weird world. It's very like Guardians of the Galaxy-esque a little bit.
Yeah.
But like more gritty. It's
Yeah.
cool. I like it.
Mhm. And I mean,
Yeah.
the cool part about the episodic nature of Cowboy Bebop is that like because it's not too narratively driven, it allows like the characters to be in different spots, so it can flesh out the world in the way that
Right.
they want to.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like you can see different parts of the world in like even I think it's like a 26 episode run.
Mhm.
So like yeah.
Yeah, you get a good sense of everything going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Cowboy Bebop fan, but yeah, Mike's right. The world in it is definitely a redeeming quality of Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
And the
it's
dub.
like
and the dub.
the dub's
Oh
the
my
dub's
God.
so good too. Yeah. It's also like and the soundtrack. There's so many good things, but it's just like the episodic nature of being like an early 2000s, late 90s anime kind of just
Yeah.
hurts it a little bit in this day and
Yeah.
age, but like there's a lot to like there. There's a lot to like there.
The show also, like, to its credit, it does tie itself. I'm not going to get too deep into the Cowboy Bebop review, but like, it does tie itself into an interesting narrative by the end, and like
Oh, I know
Yes,
the ending of
yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, and like I'll even admit, like it seems
cool.
to be
Yeah.
cool and good, but getting there is.
no, I agree
haven't-
with that.
I've never organically got there, and I've tried to watch it a couple times. I'm
lose not the biggest Cowboy Bebop fan, but like I'll even say like the ending was pretty good.
The ending's really good. But I totally agree with what you guys are saying. Like, it's kind of a slog at times to get through. The 26 episodes of episodic stuff is tough. That's just flat out tough.
To binge, for sure.
To binge. And like we live in a binge society, so
Yeah.
Tis what it is. Cole, do you have one more remaining world, or do we have more remaining worlds?
Jay,
wait, or is it Jay? Jay,
Yeah,
yes.
be Jay next.
Yeah.
If you've
I can't be remiss to not mention this world either, because like I feel like it's kind of our brand, and that's SAO.
I was wondering
Sure.
about SAO.
I mean, like
Which one? Which world?
Yeah, which world?
well, like Einkrad, like SAO.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Like yeah, maybe it's not like the most realistic game out there, but like just the idea of like being in a VR MMO and like having the ability to kind of build your character however you want and have this freedom to just like expand upon whatever you're doing in certain ways, and like there are like exclusive skills that you can get. I just think like it's really cool.
Like
as a
dual
game,
wielding?
it sucks.
Yeah, no, just the idea of being able to expand yourself in different ways based on what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's like what you do in every game. It's just what you do.
No, but like
I know what you mean.
There's so
Yeah,
much more freedom in the skill tree in SAO than there is in like a lot of other
you
games.
can do anything in SAO.
Yeah, like
which should be, impressive.
Could I
you can
see
max
your
out cooking?
Could I see your SAO and raise you? Oh dang it! What's the show that just came out and the guy wears a
Shangri-La
bird
Frontier?
head? Shangri-La Frontier. Because in my opinion, that's sort of just a better SAO.
It is, but like, and I was gonna dance over the subject, but the thing is,
Dance, baby, dance.
SAO is our like kind of tied to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have felt bad not mentioning it.
Okay.
But you're right. Shangri-La is basically just better SAO.
Sort of. It doesn't. I feel like SAO has things that Shangri-La doesn't have, but like the game, if we're talking about the world, the world of Shangri-La is it's just better SAO. Yeah.
Also the anime, right?
The anime's better, I'd say.
The anime is it's pretty good. Check it out
feels
for sure if you haven't.
like the world of Shangri-La Frontier feels like an actually understandable video game.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going into the show, like the people who are playing it feel like actual players who like try to cheese the system, which is what gamers
people
would do.
Exactly. And like the idea of having these like basically legendary beasts that are like an end goal for everybody and stuff is kind of cool too. I feel like that would actually get me excited as a gamer, and it makes more sense than just like, here, climb the tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you climb the tower, stupid.
Like you've done in every other game.
Yeah, but I want to play those games.
Yeah, no, they're fun.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I'd play SAO too. I'd get trapped.
Oh,
in
yeah,
there
yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we'd be
VR
playing
MMO.
SAO.
Oh yeah, we'd be in there.
We'd be playing.
Today, as of recording it, would be the day that Kirito, or that Yui regained her memories and like tells them.
Good, everyone's
going on.
favorite character, Yui.
Yeah, I know.
As if how did you know that, Jay? How did you know
because
that?
For the past like couple days, the SAO Twitter account's been tweeting like, "Oh, on this day and at this time, this is what would be going on in SAO."
I see.
I can't wait till we get to that day where we have that romance between a pig and that other dude.
Yeah,
I can't wait. That'll be in a few years yet, though.
And apparently they're doing like a live stream the day that Kirito would have beaten the game. So.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's super exciting.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, I didn't scramble for one, but I got one. I want to live in the Monogatari world because I want my life to be directed by Akiyuki Shinbo. And, that's
I thought it was because you wanted to be stepped on by Kiss Shot.
That's what I always thought he was going to say too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I
Or
mean,
Senju
there's
Gahara.
extra
There's extra benefits.
Yeah.
But
Listen, there's
the main
things
thing
that
is-
come along with this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main thing is the creative direction of the world. And I
Is
wish
it though?
this world was creative instead of this.
So you just like be talking to people, slowly tilting your head all the time.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Cold be
My
doing the
neck
podcast,
flexibility.
looking at us like,
My neck flexibility would be.
yeah. That hurt my neck a little bit. How did they do
Yeah,
it?
well, yeah. Imagine if it didn't.
Yeah.
Cole, you just have the most muscular neck of all time.
It's like a Baki
No.
character.
That goes to Broly. Oh, yeah, or a Dragon Ball character, Cole.
Yeah, or a Dragon Ball
Thick,
character.
thick neck on those boys.
Thick.
He just
Thick.
never skips neck day.
No.
Yeah.
Neck level.
He's just got weights on his neck and he's just lifting him. Yeah. Head banging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Swinging them
Mike,
around.
Mike, do you have a genuine one?
I do, yeah. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The world of JoJo's is so cool.
Again,
It's
same thing.
again.
Just super creative.
Yeah.
none of these are hot takes, even a little bit. But like JoJo's is so cool because it's so creative in the like that.
Mhm.
It's an anime and manga world where like literally anything could happen and make sense canonically. And like the world is just, you just understand it to be so creative and bizarre that like I said, literally anything could happen, and pretty well everything has happened.
Mhm.
And you don't bat an eye. You're just like, okay, yeah, that's the thing that could happen. I guess a guy could turn into a big rock that exists in the middle of town, or
Yeah.
you know, like it's just like,
Araki struck gold when he came up with stands, because like you can do
Yeah.
literally anything with them.
yeah, he for sure was sitting there and he's like, I've done it. I've got the
Cracked the code.
And like it
Yeah.
makes sense because like I think he said in an interview like he kind of was running out of ideas for what to do with Hamon. So like he was like I
'Cause
gotta revamp
Hamon's
this.
pretty generic, right? I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
like though, and I mean I'm sure this happens later because like I said, everything has happened.
Mhm.
I'd like Hamon to come back a little bit at some point. I think it'd be cool if they had like a little bit, like a throwback almost. So see, Jay's like making.
Is that
See,
is it a spoiler?
Well, I mean,
There
you've
you go.
already
you've
yeah,
already done
yeah.
it. Yeah,
we're
you-
humans
Well,
who can read context.
Like
Yeah.
it kind of does. Like
Okay.
Okay.
It-
There's
Sure.
a little
Good.
there's a little
That's good.
sneak peek.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
You
I'm
don't know
guessing
when.
JoJo's Part 7, someone uses Hamon to kill a vampire. I don't know. It's just cool. And then also the fact that like Araki has gone on record as saying like, yeah, canonically, like there are no actual official colors for anything. So
Mhm.
like when you see the sky is pink for a scene, it could be. That could be the color of the sky. You don't know. There is no color of the
Yeah.
sky in his life.
Mhm.
It changes. It's open to such creative liberties that it's so hard to leave it off a list of like the coolest anime worlds, I'd say.
Yeah.
Mike, have you finished
Uh,
part 6? Just like
No.
off topic.
No, you know what? I finished. I'm up to part 6, and me and Shazana like randomly threw on an episode of part. We watched the first episode of part 6 like
Mhm.
a week ago,
Okay.
and then I've just had like other things to watch. But that's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's fair.
probably because like the season's just starting. We're gonna be doing our seasonal check-in next and stuff. It's just like
Mhm.
I'm running out of time to watch these to catch up on the
Bandwidth.
backlog. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably gonna be my next backlog watch.
Part 6 is probably I think it's I'd say it's my favorite part of JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Jolene's
good.
so cool. Jolene's so cool.
Jolene's a really good protagonist. And then also just like the setting is really cool.
Yeah, it's like a murder mystery in a jail, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Okay. Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
We all know why.
There's one I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned yet.
And what is that?
Berserk.
Yeah, Berserk could be on there too, but it's like
I would.
Well, I mean, like not for
It's
worlds
very
to
cool.
live in, but like
he's not
very
asking which
cool.
one you want to live in.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I keep putting that on Jay, but that is not
Yeah.
what he's asking. Yeah, I mean, the Berserk world building is peak. It's peak.
I mean,
Berserk is peak.
hey, it's Berserk. Like
It's Berserk.
I've
yeah.
never heard. Have you heard a single person be like, "Yeah, Berserk's world building's garbage"?
I've heard people say Berserk is mid. Yes,
Well,
I'm
they're
sure.
being that's inflammatory, is what
I've
is.
heard people say that Berserk is a terribly written manga, like genuinely. And
Did they read
I was
only the
I was
first volume?
baffled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
no,
like,
that's,
no way someone actually like read Berserk and went like, this isn't that good.
That's just they're just
They're just
being,
they're fishing. They're fishing is what they're doing.
yeah. They're just being
Yeah.
contrarian.
Yeah.
And like Mike said, if you only read the first volume, okay, I'll give you the pass. But like, you cannot get through the Golden Age arc and tell me that Berserk is not well written. It's just impossible.
It's just
It's
like
impossible.
objectively false, I'd say. I would say.
It's false.
I've never seen it in the wild.
Yeah.
It's not for me, but like it's also like so like it's very graphic.
Yes.
Well, that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be for you, but like,
you can not like it.
it's
and admit that
Berserk.
it's a good world building and well written.
Yeah.
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 I do have
Anyway,
one.
yeah,
Is it
okay?
one
You got
Is
one?
it my turn? I don't remember how it goes. Chainsaw Man.
I don't know. I
Chainsaw
kinda
Man's a
jumped
cool
in.
world. Chainsaw Man has a cool world, actually.
Yeah,
like the
it
way
does.
that like the devils work, and there's like this like kind of government organization that kind of runs things, and like it's just so like, again, it's kind of like JoJo's in the way that like pretty well anything can happen in the Chainsaw Man world, and you'd kind of just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense that the ding dong devil causes everybody else's nose to turn to ding dongs or something. Like it's just like there's a literal chapter where like they kill the ear devil and everyone's ears disappear, and you're just like, oh, that's a thing that could happen in
That
this
was a
world.
really cool chapter too, where like there was just no noise in the chapter at all.
Yeah,
really
like,
cool.
That's so
really
that's
cool.
so cool. That's so cool to do that, and it's just like the main character's head's he's a chainsaw man.
He's a chainsaw man.
Yeah,
Jay. He's a chainsaw man.
He is a chainsaw man. He is arguably.
Hold on. He's a chainsaw man. Yeah.
He is
that's
arguably
what he is.
a chainsaw and a man.
Yeah.
50% chainsaw, 50% man.
I mean, when he has his arms and legs and head all chainsaw, is he 50%? I'd say he's probably more chainsaw than man at that point.
I don't know. He's more machine now than
He's
man.
more man than machine. He's more machine than man at this point.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I will concede that I think Chainsaw Man, while the world is cool, it just definitely doesn't have as good of writing as like a Berserk or something like that.
No,
And I feel like that's a hot take, maybe a little bit, but
Chainsaw Man is probably carried a lot by like the concepts and everything, plus like just the cool like fan theories. I told you guys about the how Pochita is Jesus theory, like that's a thing, and the fact that like that people see that and like can convince me, an idiot, that is like a legitimate theory.
Absolute dingus.
Chainsaw Man, that's a good one. Oh,
thank you.
I'll go Ancient Mage's Bride as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Any off the top of your dome now, Jay, before we move on to the
like a
break?
speed round type
Just
situation.
like Frieren. I mean, like classic high fantasy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
I feel like it's like the perfect high fantasy world in a way that like it's weird that we haven't got an anime before Frieren.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like how did nobody just like make like a really good fantasy world before? It's kind of weird.
yeah.
That's like only a fantasy.
And now that we have a ton of fantasy anime coming, like we had Frieren, we have Witch Hat Atelier on the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that would be up there too. I just read volume 7, I think 7 or 8, I don't remember. But yeah, it's just it's so good. It's like we had compared it to Berserk in our review. And I know like if you didn't listen to our review of Witch Hat Atelier, you're kind of like Berserk and Witch Hat. That doesn't make any sense. It kind of does though. It kind of does though. They're both really great worlds with like really great art.
Yeah,
and fantastic storytelling.
Yeah,
cool like world building and stuff.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Chainsaw Man up until not Chainsaw Man. Sorry. Attack on Titan up until the big reveal.
Big reveal.
Just the mystery behind Chainsaw Man, or the mystery behind Attack on Titan. Really, like when that was all happening. Man, it was
pretty cool.
We were all on a ride, and it was a lot of fun.
I feel like even after the big tone swap and reveal and like turning point of it, I feel like it's still cool then, but it's a different kind of world. It turned to a different story at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the mystique fell off. Like I still liked
That's
it,
right.
obviously.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I kept up with it and everything, but like everything was kind of revealed at that point, so it just kind of turned into like a pseudo political thriller in a way.
Yeah.
Which I'm into
Absolutely.
as well. But like before it was so like you didn't know
Fantastical and mysterious. Yeah.
what was happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you guys got any more, or can we move on?
I'm gonna throw out quickly Code Geass. Cool world and Code Geass for sure.
Yeah, really like the alt history as well. Like, what if
Yeah.
the Americans lost the War of Independence? Cool, and they never bring it up. They never bring it up in the show. You just got to go and look for that.
You just gotta know. And then the other one would be Ghibli. All the Ghibli worlds are just like, that's what
Whimsy.
people talk about all the time. It's so whimsical.
I'll just quickly throw out ReZero. I think that's one of the coolest isekai worlds. People don't really talk about it, but like there's so much mystique to it as well that like we still don't really know about.
Yeah.
And then like all the witches, all the like lore behind that, like it's all so much interesting stuff that
lots of questions on the table, like all like the witches you said, who is Rem, who cursed Subaru, like all of these things that need to be answered, you know. Yeah,
man, anime's got some sweet worlds.
Just no reaction to the second question.
No.
Which one was it?
No, you know what? Go back and listen to the recording, Jay.
Let's rewind. Yeah.
Okay. No. We do need to go to a break, but we've got our listener's choice review coming up. So, I mean, this is the first review episode of the docket, right? We're reviewing Blood Blockade Battlefront today.
Right away.
So we've got to start the process of the listener's choice. So the thing we got to do is reveal the anime. So we'll reveal them and we'll stagger the reveals. So Jay, you're first because you're first in the review order. Jay, what are you nominating as our?
All right.
I'm not going to reveal what the theme is. I want somebody in the comments to tell us what the theme is.
Okay.
Can we reveal the theme at the end?
But then they'll just go to the end and see what the theme is. I want them to tell me what they think the theme is.
Okay, we'll reveal it next week then.
We'll reveal it next week. Yeah.
Sneak.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jay.
All right. So my pitch for our next listener's choice anime is 13 episodes by Studio Wit.
Okay.
Came out in spring of 2021.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. I know what it is.
Sitting at an 82%.
Okay.
It's an original anime, and its genres are action, drama, music, sci-fi, and thriller.
Yeah. I know what it is. This one's gonna win.
It might win.
I'm into this too, Jay. What anime is this?
Before I reveal it, let's talk. Let me read the synopsis because it's kind of short.
Sure. Keep the tease going.
Sure. Yeah.
An AI named Matsumoto appears before Vivi, the world's first autonomous humanoid AI.
Should have censored the name.
No, because I'm revealing it. So, who cares?
It's fine. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, that's true.
Matsumoto's mission is to rewrite history together with Vivi in order to stop the war between AI and humans that will happen 1 century later. Gentlemen, my proposition is Vivi Florida. If you hadn't guessed it already.
That's not what I thought it was. I thought you were picking Megalobox.
You know what? Actually, I thought you would have picked Megalobox.
I thought Jay would have picked Megalobox too. But no,
you know what? Jay's seen Megalobox. Have you seen Vivi?
I haven't seen Vivi.
There you go.
Mike, have you seen Vivi?
I sure have.
Okay.
Cole, have you seen Vivi to complete the circle?
Of course I've seen Vivi.
There you go. We have the squared circle now.
I would love to review this. I would love to review this one. But I would love to review my anime more. But
I wouldn't. I'd love to review my anime later.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't want to review yours, Cole. It sucks. Okay, no, let's go to a break, and after the break, we do have a mailbag question. It's a weird one. An interesting one. We're also gonna do our review of Blockade Battlefront. So come back after this music, and we hope to see you on the other side of this matter.
You better keep listening, or else Jay's gonna come for you with those big feet. Break.
Break.
Mari Crumbu Weebs. No, wait. That's
Welcome
like
back.
the first
Wow.
half.
Whoa. We threw Cole off. Yes.
Oh,
Mission successful.
you did it.
We've done
You
it.
did it. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back. Yeah, this is the second half of the
Merry
episode.
Crombo Weebs.
I'm here. And,
Cole's
I
here.
don't know.
Why do you seem
Now
sad?
I don't know. I'm just kind of, I don't know, just kind of down to the dumps a little bit, you know?
Oh,
Like,
well, how about you
yeah.
cheer up?
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about you? How about you do this, where I press this button?
It's time for the mailbag.
Yeah, it's mailbag time. If you got a mailbag question, you can send it over to us at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag, or on our website. No. Oh my God, what is happening to me? I
Have
just
you
said
lost the plot?
I've lost
This
the
break
plot.
has
Or
done
at the
something to
Discord.
you.
At the Discord. You can come to our Discord and send us a mailbag question. This one is a patron priority mailbag question. Wee woo. It comes from Mogmog. This one, very obscure, abstract question, as Michael put it.
Mm-hmm.
If your co-hosts were an anime, what anime would they be? If your co-hosts were an anime,
Mm-hmm.
what anime would they be, Jay? Indeed.
Well, I think Mike would be Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, sure.
Explain
Yeah.
after. Explain after. I want to.
Yeah, let that marinate.
Yeah, let's
Explain that after.
I want the listeners to like think about how I'm Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Yeah, no, please.
Yeah,
Hit me with
no.
it.
Sorry.
Hit me with it.
I just wanna make sure that I've nailed both
No,
your
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean,
Quality.
you've already nailed Mike's.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Cole's
Mhm.
K-On.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Now please
explain
elaborate.
how I'm like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, Mike, you're Yu-Gi-Oh because like you like there's a little bit of that normie side to you, but at the same time there's like this like cerebral, like you've activated my trap card energy to
Mm.
Okay.
you. Like you do like that like layer behind the normie to it. Like there's a little bit of that like
Okay.
like that mature trap card to you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then also like just
I've been
Yu-Gi-Oh
described
seems
as
like
kind
your
of a
vibe.
wild card, so that kind of does.
Yeah.
And I've also been described a bit of like a robot at the same time. So I feel like that also. I feel like actually you've hit on something here, maybe.
Okay.
And then
And
also,
I think you've
like,
nailed Cole.
when at
You've
first you
nailed
don't
Cole on this.
succeed, blast him with your blue ice again.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have that famous line
Yeah.
that Kaiba delivered. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, please explain to me why I remind you of a bunch of cute girls.
No, you
So,
are a bunch of cute girls.
Yeah, you are a bunch of cute girls playing music.
Yeah.
And like, so first of all, music's like one of your big personality traits. Like it's just one of
Okay.
the big things that I think of when I think of you.
Mhm.
Specifically like a band. And then
Okay.
also just like you give off like a lot of the stuff you like when it comes to anime is like the like cutesy or like the like cute girls doing cute things kind of show. So like
Mhm.
the girls in the band kind of give off that energy.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. I'm here
Okay.
for it.
He's
Mike,
onto something.
have you nailed us as
Of
well?
course, I've nailed you all the time.
Mhm.
I think Jay. I kind of want to say your Classroom of the Elite, because I'll explain later.
Cole's upset.
Did I pick yours, Cole?
Yeah.
Okay, it's obviously the correct choice then.
Yeah.
I'll just elaborate now since Cole kind of we can both tag team Jay on this one.
Sure.
We'll
Let's get him.
tag team nail him here.
Yeah, let's get him.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think Jay, you have you always play very coy about this, very much like I and Koji, about being like having all these schemes running at all times. And you've thought like so far ahead so often, and like they're so convoluted but somehow make sense, and it's just like there's so many webs being woven, and you're also like very capable of actually getting us to fall into your spider webs, that I feel like just that feels very J. That feels very J. Garrity and Sama.
Interesting. You picked Classroom of the Elite, not Monster, though.
And it's like because you like trash stuff, right? So that's
There's also that element of it.
Yeah, there we go.
But being like
just
a little,
like Mike said, the machinations of Jay, constantly conniving, constantly just coming up with these plots, and we're just puppets on strings for Jay and to Jay. That's how Jay thinks of us. But
I think also too,
you like your trash a little bit too.
Yeah, there's romance. There's school uniforms. You like school stuff. It's just kind of when I think of Jay, it's in there. It's in there. It's in the vibe.
Yeah.
And
what about me?
When I think of a Cole,
that's me.
I'm thinking of things I've watched here. There's a few things that feel like a Cole to me. And Cole is probably Golden Boy.
Okay. All right. Please
like,
elaborate.
I feel like on the surface, you're very like brash and kind of like not rude, but like crude maybe is the word. Okay. And like you have like a very like crude sense of humor and stuff like that.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And like people, if they don't know you, will just be like, oh, that guy just likes farting into the microphone or something. And it's just like, okay, that's you know, but then when like you kind of get to know you, there's heart to it. It's like, no, but he's doing it with heart, you know? He's really means it. He really means it.
Yeah.
He means well. Yeah. And like again, like you like kind of older stuff, and it's kind of I just feel like that's kind of your vibe, the world of Golden Boy.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, Jay, we've already discussed, so I'm just going to go with Mike, and hear me out. Mike, I think of Dragon Ball Z for you.
What?
Okay, hear me out. Of course, Shonen Boy, you know.
I am a boy. That is correct.
You're a boy. Well, you like shonen manga. You're a shonen guy.
He's the shonen aficionado.
And Mike, you are all about like self-improvement. You're always taking courses and stuff like that. And I don't know, when I think of like self-improvement, like pushing yourself beyond who you are at a given moment, I think of Dragon Ball Z, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
You've kind of hit on something because I genuinely like think Dragon Ball Z is super inspirational just because like they're always pushing past their limits, going beyond plus ultra. And it's just it is inspirational. That's why like you see so many people in the gym and like the Kame house, like tank tops and stuff. Cause it's like, it makes you want to go.
I don't know, but that's, not even in a physical sense. I mean, like, just like, I don't know. You're always,
I gotcha.
You're taking a computer course right now. And it's like, just you want to learn about computers. And that's why, you're just doing it for self-improvement.
I think you're right. Like I always think if you're not learning and growing, you're kind of just rotting. I don't know. That's just how I kind of feel. And it's just, if I'm not improving, then I'm falling back. I'm falling behind. And that's not a good, I feel like that's not like a good way to look at things, but it's just how I do look at things. And it's,
and like, it's not,
if you're not powering up,
or bad.
You're powering down kind of.
Yeah.
If you're not learning, then you're probably dead.
Probably.
Yeah. Always be growing.
Yeah.
Whether mentally or physically or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mike, why don't you grow our list of
yes. I would love to reveal my candidate for our next listener's choice selection.
Yes. Yes.
But I won't reveal the theme. Not this episode.
Nope.
Not this episode. Next episode.
Cole, can you bleep
maybe
it out
if we remember.
I said it out loud?
won't remember.
I'm kind of coming around on just saying it at the end of this episode
because we'll never remember. We'll never remember.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about forgetting it. So.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
it would be in keeping for us to completely change our whole modus operandi by the end of the episode. It'd be normal.
It's what we do.
It's what we do. We work on the fly here. Okay.
Yeah.
The anime I've selected for your selection, dear listener, is a classic anime.
Got it.
Genres. Shut up. That was Jay's earliest. Oh, I know what it is. There's no way. Okay, guess. Guess.
It'd be really funny if I'm actually. No, keep going.
No, you have to guess now because you got it.
I said that as a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the anime I'm revealing. Oh no, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Right before I could say anything. Anyway, genres: drama, mystery, psychological, sci-fi, and supernatural. Tags are philosophy, female protagonist, cyberpunk, conspiracy, religion, urban, primarily female cast, and trains.
And trains?
And trains. There's trains in this one, guys.
Okay.
It's based on a one-shot, or there's a side story that's a one-shot of it. It's the almost 200th most popular of all time anime. It's 13 episodes of 23 minutes in length. It aired in 1998 and an average score of 80%. I will read for you now the synopsis.
Please do.
Ahem. We're all connected. There is the world around us, a world of people, tactile sensation, and culture. There's the wired world inside the computer of images, personalities, virtual experiences, and a culture all of its own. The day after a classmate commits self-unaliving, Lane, a 14-year-old girl, discovers how closely the two worlds are linked when she receives an email from the dead girl. I just abandoned my body. I still live here. Has the line between the real world and the wired world begun to blur? Gentlemen, I'm nominating Serial Experiments Lane, a classic anime in which I have never watched, believe it or not. And please, listeners, make me watch it. Make us all watch it. I implore you to. Yeah. This is a great anime, I feel like, to watch in the current age we're living in, where the lines between like internet and reality and all that stuff, like I feel like this is before its time in taking on that concept, and I'm curious to see how it holds up.
Definitely. I would echo what you said wholeheartedly, and I've resigned myself to lose this poll.
Cole's picked something super obscure as per norm.
Yeah, 100%.
Is it
that's fine.
Sins? Is it
No.
Sins? Okay.
No. I thought you were gonna pick that one.
For the listeners, the reason why I say that is because I joined this chat at the beginning of our session, and I just hear Cole going, I want to pick it, but I think Jay's going to pick Casher and Sins.
I thought you would, but no, I've already got one picked out. Yeah.
You have nominated one that's on our list of eligible ones before, and I'm curious if you're going to try to re-nominate it.
No, I'm not going to. But that would be...
You're not going to re-nominate Ergo Proxy, just to be clear?
No, that would be the one, but I've already nominated that one in the past. So.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, let's get into our proper review here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We are reviewing Blockade Battlefront.
That's right.
Also known as, Jay, what's it also known as?
Kekkai Sensen.
Kekkai Sensen.
Yes.
Oh, I'm getting emotional. Jay.
Yes.
This was your manga suggestion.
It was my
anime suggestion.
It was.
Why don't you tell us about this one?
For sure. Blockade Battlefront is it's basically like an episodic show where like the main character comes into this new city called what's it called? Helsalim's Lot.
Yeah.
Helsalim Lot.
Transformed New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And basically he's looking for a way to save his sister because of various circumstances that have happened to him. And what ensues is basically just like I said, an episodic series of events that basically show us this new city that he moved to of Hellslam's Lot.
Mm-hmm. We should specify, like, what is Hellslam's Lot? Like, it's not just a normal city, right?
Yeah, Hell Salem's Lot is like basically New York City and this like weird interdimensional alien world all like combined. There was like some kind of catastrophe, right?
Yeah.
And it created this new like sort of like a weird like fusion of New York City and like like this like weird. There's just basically New York, but like kind of post-apocalyptic a little bit and cyberpunky a little bit.
It's kind of like Gintama in a weird way.
A little bit.
Okay.
Like that kind of like weird like normal world with like
aliens just kind of
running around
stuff.
Yeah. Coming in,
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get that setting because otherwise, like, you would just think this is like normal New York, but no, it's completely alien.
I did not realize that it about like that. Yeah, it like was in this weird like alternate reality type situation like that, and like Hell Salem's Lot is kind of like a weird. It's very It's very in keeping. I think you've picked a good place to start this, Cole, because it's very like the rest of this show. I think where it's very like. There's a wide variety of things going on in this setting.
Mm-hmm. It's very chaotic.
Yes, super chaotic.
Yeah. Well, as we start our reviews, let's begin with kind of comparisons, recommendations. So we watched all 12 episodes, or maybe 13 if you watched the 10.5 or whatever.
I regret telling you guys to watch. I tuned in because I gave you guys like a heads up. I'm like, just so you know, it's 12 episodes on AniList, but it's 13 episodes. But the episode 10 and a half on Crunchyroll is just a recap.
Yeah. I don't worry, Mike. I skipped it.
Yeah,
I also skipped it.
I use it as a good opportunity to just browse my phone while I just recapped.
Yeah. We watched all 12 episodes of this, or did we?
You find
the 12th episode. Even though like the 10.5 is a recap, the 12th episode is double length.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes.
Which I also found out was that 12th episode was delayed. It came out like 2 seasons after.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like very delayed.
I don't know. There was interesting stuff. Like
there's lots of cool lore about this one.
Let me just say that this show, and I thought it was just me losing my mind, but like I had to watch other reviews for it and then realize, okay, no, it wasn't just me. I had to go to like the wiki for the show and kind of like read up on stuff. The main villain of this is an anime original character. A lot of this is just anime original stuff.
It's all anime original. A lot of the like actual stuff that isn't anime original was just like picked from various chapters of the manga from like the first 6 volumes.
Yeah. But I thought it worked. It didn't feel like that to me.
Now that we kind of cat's out of the bag now, so I'm going to quickly say this. Like I feel like the main plot line that ties this whole thing together being anime original, it's probably one of the best pieces of filler in anime in a weird way, because like it like technically from a technical sense, because like I feel like that was probably one of the most interesting plot lines in the show was the anime original stuff. But
and it's definitely the point that people remember of this show for sure.
I was 2 minds on it. Like I agree that like in terms of plot it was probably the most interesting, but kind of like what I was talking about with Cowboy Bebop. I think like the episodic nature of the show did build up this world of Hell Salem's Lot really interestingly, and like I think that Hell Salem's Lot is a really cool world as well.
Yeah, it's unique for sure. But yeah, comparable things. I would definitely throw out Durarara as a very comparable property, just because it kind of captures that like like it's in an urban setting with like a very diverse cast with like kind of weird stuff. Like everybody in that one's kind of weird, and there's like supernatural stuff going on, and it's just
Yeah, I always think it's a Ryogo Narita who's the author of Durarara. One of his works, but it's not. It's by the author of Trigun.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
But it definitely feels like like if you told me they were the same author, I would like kind of believe you, and then I'd be like, then I'd look into it and I'd be like, oh no, Jay lied to me.
Yeah.
Jay, how could you?
You've tricked me done.
Yeah, Jay mentioned Cowboy Bebop, so
yeah,
I'll mention Kyoso Giga as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind
Same
of that
director,
like
too.
very ethereal, like fever dream almost, like plot,
A little bit.
like plotting to it. Like you're almost like, what is happening?
What is going on?
And then you kind of have to like the way the story tells, like it gives you everything, and then it kind of almost works backwards and fills in a lot of spaces, a lot of the empty spaces as the episode goes through.
Yeah.
So it really keeps you engaged, because like if you do not like if you're not paying attention to this,
You're gonna miss tons of stuff.
you're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone. Yeah. So Kyoso Giga, underappreciated show, real gem. Mike, Jay, I'm sorry. What about you?
Mike had one of the ones that I was thinking of in Durarara, but the other one that came to mind for me was Bungo Stray Dogs. I feel like in like the agency kind of thing that's like trying to save the town and they all have powers very much falls in line with what Bungo Stray Dogs is like. But
Very
yeah,
much
I kind of looked at it as like if the author of Durarara wrote Bungo Stray Dogs.
Kinda, yeah. And like the thing with Bungo Stray Dogs is you have the Studio Bones connection there too. That kind of also ties things together. So they kind of like visually look similar because they have that Bones stylistic to it. But yeah, it's kind of like a broad. The big summary here is the broad cast of very unique characters in a very unique world. And those, I feel like all three of us have kind of encapsulated that. I would also throw out, and it's on Annie list here, Doro Hey Doro kind of captures this, but it's from I would say it's a very of the ones we've said, that one's quite different from this one.
Probably thematically, but like the world, I'd say, would be similar in a way.
It kind
from
of
an
is.
outsider's point of view.
Yeah, I'm
like,
thinking
I haven't seen
Doro Hey Doro is like still kind of urban, but there's like a lot more magic. There's like an underworld to it. There's creatures. It's more demonic. It's more demonic, I feel. This is more alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like there's definitely like things tying the two things together. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So Mike mentioned characters. So let's talk about characters, and there's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of
arguably. Yeah.
maybe some of them could have been shaved out a little bit. The most important one is their main character, Leonardo Watch. Now Leo has what's his powers called? The
All-Seeing Eye.
All-Seeing Eye of God or something
demons.
like that.
Yeah.
And basically his power is he has really good eyes.
He's also super normal.
He's very normal, except for his vision.
Except for his
eyes.
Which, let me just say, like the sound design for the eyes, whenever he'd open up his eyes, really cool. It's like wind chimes and stuff. But yeah, he's just a normal guy. He has like no physical power. He just has these eyes that allow him to see like unseen things, and he can kind of like project visions onto other people.
Yeah. They're interesting.
So,
they're the all-seeing eyes of God, and he like
that's it.
Yeah.
He kind of, I think he gets them by like basically his sister like sacrificing herself.
Yeah, like a demon like thing approached him and his sister, and like he was offered like
the eyes.
One of you will get these eyes and the other's gonna lose their sight.
Yeah. And it's kind of like a running theme in this a little bit of like some people get like good ends of the bargain and some people not so much, and like kind of these
very
weird
Faustian.
Yeah.
And of course the sibling dynamic as
well.
But
there's a couple like that. Yeah.
It's not really, and I don't know, maybe I missed it. It's not really explained what she gives up to get the eyes until like the end, when it's revealed that she can't see, or did I miss something?
No, I remember in like episode 1, it was like you can't see.
Yeah, see, I also couldn't remember. I was like, I again, like this one, I was lost so much. Honestly,
Mhm.
I feel like you said, like if you literally blink, you miss stuff, and it's like, what
Yeah.
happened?
Also, like he wrote her a letter, and how is she supposed to read the letter if she's blind?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Details,
Klaus von.
yeah.
Let's talk about Klaus von Reinhardt's, who's the leader of the group, and he's just a big guy.
A lot of the characters in this show are like they're here. There's a lot of guys, but there's not really that much to them.
No, they're
Like,
very
he's
shallow.
They're
he's
more
like
like
a gentleman.
caricatures. Like he's the
Yeah.
leader. He's the like. I don't want to say fatherly because like he's not a father, but like he's like the
yeah,
he's paternal.
he's-
yeah,
he's
he's
like
like
a
the one that
paternal-
keeps everyone in check. I
he's
guess.
kind of
Yeah.
he's kind of daddy.
Yeah.
He's very he reminds me of Beast from X-Men. That
Yes.
kind of
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like he's super strong and everything, but
And
he's
he's
like
also very smart.
he's very
Yep.
smart. He's always playing chess, super
That
chess.
like adjacent chess.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't really
Weird.
get
Hell
that.
Salem's version of chess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of the anime's way of showing. Yeah, he's not just really strong. He's super smart too.
Yeah.
He's super duper smart. But yeah, he's like the physically
Yes.
the strongest character in this
Mhm.
in this world.
He's
I
like the
guess.
leader too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got cool. Honestly, every time he came in and fought somebody, it was so cool. Honestly, though,
Yeah.
he had the
Yeah,
coolest
most of
powers
his,
by
like,
far.
His
Mhm.
animations and stuff were
Yeah.
Yeah,
were cool.
and like I think that's another thing that was really cool for all the characters. Like they all had their own unique fighting style.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And, like powers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next up we got
Wait.
Zap.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to
yeah.
say about my boy Klaus here.
Mm.
I could not stand his character design. We can move on immediately after that, but it just something about him just looked so stupid to me, and it just took me out of the show every time I saw him a little bit.
How he looks
Well,
like
character design will come up.
Okay.
I thought it would be revealed that he's not human.
Yeah,
But,
because he looks like a
no, he's-
werewolf or something almost. But there's
he's just a
another
guy.
character who's a werewolf. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he's just-
at the same time, this isn't the whole manga, and a lot of it's anime original. So like,
Yeah.
maybe
True.
he was supposed to be.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just want to get through like the main
Yes. Okay.
the main guys
Sorry.
in this.
Mhm.
So next up would be Zap Renfro, who's kind of
Mhm.
like partnered up with Leo.
Yeah.
And he's just your brash, loud, womanizing, I don't know, your classic guy.
Mhm.
You know the type. You know
Yeah.
the type.
I feel like you describe him as like, yeah, he's a jerk, but he's all right.
He's got a heart. Yeah, he cares, but he
Yeah.
won't ever let
but
you know.
he's also
He
still
kinda-
not like a good guy.
He kind of reminded me a little bit, like just kind of like small vibes of Leorio from Hunter x Hunter.
Kind of. If Leorio was like a much worse person.
Yeah, I just mean like just like a little bit,
Yes.
just like dialed up to 11.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. I think that's a fair take for sure.
Mhm.
He was quite fun, I would say too. Like there was an
Yeah.
episode that was kind of like, or there's two episodes that kind of focused solely on him for a lot of it.
Mhm.
And they were
Mhm.
probably some of the more fun episodes of the entire series, I'd say.
Yeah, he was definitely comic relief.
Yeah, for sure. There's a
But
couple
he
characters.
was also able
yeah.
to. He was able to like hold his own as well in battles.
Mhm.
His power was he could like
It was like
all of their
blood
powers are
related.
based on their blood. I
Yeah.
think,
It seems like,
and
except for
he
eyes.
can. Eyes.
The guy had eyes.
Leonardo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's
sorry.
true.
Yeah.
Eyes.
He had eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, he had eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Zap's powers, he could like turn his blood into stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Swords,
Anyway, let's move
usually.
on.
Yeah.
Next character would be Mary, who's the romantic interest, I suppose, also
Yeah.
known as
White.
Whitehall.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just a girl. She's got a bad heart, so she's in the hospital, and
And she's the love interest.
Mhm.
And she's the love interest.
Yeah.
She's a spunky girl,
And she's
Yeah.
a ghost.
and she's a ghost.
As she introduces herself. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's not a ghost. But maybe it's
Yeah.
some
We'll find out.
foreshadowing.
Maybe there's something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the last character I just want to maybe introduce would be her brother, William Macbeth, a.k.a. Black. who's a nerd.
Who is?
Whoa, their names are black and white. What?
What?
Yeah,
Well, that's their nicknames.
Their
I'm
nicknames.
assuming they gave each other those names.
they do.
I
They
assume.
they show it.
Do they show it?
Yeah.
I just thought that they just called each other that.
No, it's in the episode where they're
know,
on the
man.
farm.
Yeah.
But yeah, William, he's got like psychic powers. It's revealed.
And other things going on.
And he's kind of
other
like
things going on.
Yeah, I mean, the first time you meet him, he is like very menacing and ominous, and then you meet him again, and he's like a sweetheart, and you're kind of like, what's going on here? This is
Yeah,
weird.
what's going on?
This is
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
Like even the main character is kind of like our boy Leonardo's like, you're the guy I met you before. You're like scary,
Yeah.
and then he's like, no, that's not me. Totally not me. And it's like this. It's very
Okay, that was you.
Yeah, it's like a source of intrigue for sure.
And then, like, at the end of the episode, it kind of does, like, that thing where it's like, it was me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
We know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we figured it out. Yeah, we
got
got it.
that. We got that.
We're
yeah.
omnipresent in
We're-
this.
yeah, we
can
got
see
it.
everything.
We're on
Yeah.
the same.
But yeah, like I would say you guys kind of mentioned these characters are mostly caricatures, which is fine for like a big ensemble cast to
Yeah.
me.
Because it doesn't have time to go into the nitty gritty for each of these guys, I would say.
Yeah, everybody kind of has their moment in the sun. Like some of my favorite characters have barely any lines in it, but they're just their dynamic with other characters is so good that it really works.
It's
like
it's weird
the
though,
dynamic
because-
between Chain and Zap.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Chain's like
what were you gonna
barely
say,
in it. Yeah.
It's weird though because like I always feel like the anime original stuff in the show kind of gets in the way of that a little bit.
In a good way though, to me, to be honest. Like I feel like the manga stuff was probably a lot of the episodic stuff. And I felt like I had to be pulled in by the filler, if you will.
I agree with Cole.
Personally.
I don't know. I feel like this is like one of the rare cases where adding in like a anime original storyline to be the main storyline was the correct choice.
See, my issue with that is like I feel like because they didn't lean completely in that direction and like they kind of stayed a little bit with what the manga was trying to do. Both sides clashed too much and they both got in each other's way that they didn't get the chance to like be as good if it was like one or the other.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it almost had a bit of a identity crisis in a weird way.
Like kind of like Spider-Man 3. I think of it I'm thinking of it like Spider-Man 3 where like
It all comes
like
back
the Venom
to
stuff and the Sam Raimi stuff that he was trying to do were clashing and like they just couldn't be like the complete version of what they could have been.
Yeah,
that checks
that's
out.
a good comparison.
Yeah.
I like that. Also, yeah, maybe having a bit too many characters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
having-
I think the point of what the manga was trying to do was like its focus was on Hell Salem's Lot and just trying to flesh that out and make that like basically the main character. But because it had this like anime original plot, it couldn't do that well, which like I'm not knocking the anime original stuff. I'm just saying like it got in the way of what that manga thing was trying to do. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I as I was watching this, I felt like all of the characters that were manga originals kind of were a lot more shallow, other than our boy Leonardo, who's the main character, than the two anime original characters, White, Black, and White.
And I think like they just it's just because like they were the main focus of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah, what Jay was saying would kind of proves that too. Like the manga was more just about the setting where I don't know if they felt like the show needed to have more of a like an emotional hook as well.
Right.
For better or worse. We'll, as we go through the review, we'll reveal our thoughts on that. But
for sure.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot more like character building with Mary and William, and as a result, Leo as well, just because he's kind of included in that. but because of that, it kind of leaves a lot of the other characters just on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Noticeably so.
I will also say, like, the idea, like, the stuff with Leo's sister kind of got left off by the wayside. Like, it kind of picks up a little bit by the end because of the parallels with the white and black, but, like, he's more concerned with someone he just met than, like, thinking about his sister in the beginning, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't really, like, get a sense of, like, you understand that he went to the city for something for his sister, but you never really learn what exactly he came for. Which, I mean, like, this is the start of a story. There is a season 2, of course. The manga is the manga, so
I think part of that
I'm sure that you learn.
And I mean, we're kind of jumping around a bit, but I think that a lot of that is due to this adapting what's essentially like 10 to 15, I think it's like 12 volumes or something, is adapted in this one season, and it kind of like picks and chooses what it adapts and then kind of makes the focus this anime original thing. So I feel like a lot of the context gets lost by just the nature of jumping around and being incredibly episodic. The manga is probably also very episodic if I had to guess. But like,
I took a look into it, and it is an episodic manga.
Yeah, it threw me for
a
loop.
It probably just works better as a manga because because you can just like read a chapter and then be like, okay, I'm done.
I feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had watched it as it was airing weekly. And
I think so.
Yeah, that's usually how episodic stuff is best absorbed, for sure.
Yeah.
But let's ask the most important question of the day: sub or dub, Mike?
Well, no, Jay, you go first.
Oh, okay, Jay. Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah,
what did you watch? The sub or the dub?
I watched the dub. The Japanese dub.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Kind of funny you say that, because like it's set in New York City, so like it makes sense.
There's an argument
for them to canonically speak English.
It is set in like a post-apocalyptic, futuristic New York City, though, so like we don't know where these characters are from.
Are you suggesting that Japan has taken over world domination and made that the official language of the world?
Is that not what anime is for?
Could be.
It's a psyop. Anime is a psyop.
Yep.
Mike, I'm guessing you watched dub.
I sure did. I did check out the sub too. The sub was good. The dub was also quite good, and it was interesting because like when I was doing some research about this show, I saw a lot of things at the time. People were super excited about the dub of this show, saying like this is like one of Funimation's like great dubs of the time, and it seemed to be like one of the very early simul dubs. Like there was a lot of buzz, like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like they're dubbing it like pretty well exactly the same time as it's coming out in Japan. And at the time, that was like a cool thing. This came out in 2015. I don't know if that was said earlier. So this is like a 9-year-old anime, and it's kind of neat to see like how far we've come. Where like I feel like we just like expect simul dubs nowadays. Whereas like this is like at the time it was like, oh, this is being simul dubbed. That's so cool and new.
Yeah, what a novel concept.
At the same time.
They had to invent the term simul dub.
Yeah, it wasn't even a term at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think that the interesting thing that I noticed with the dub too is like I did think the dub was good. And it like again it fits because it's like a in Japan setting. It kind of makes sense to watch the dub. But I did feel a little bit like it did have a little bit of that old dub smell to it a little bit. Where I was like, it's good. But like I feel like the average dub nowadays is probably on par or better than this. Even like the simul dubs, which are a little more rushed, and maybe it's because it was simul dubbed at the time and they didn't quite have their process down. Yeah. I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't that as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah. The only downside to the dub I could see is that the Macbeth twins are not played by the same voice actor.
Yeah. Which is cool. That's a cool move. That's a really cool move.
Rie
Kugimiya.
Yeah. She often plays male characters. I think she's got a pretty low register.
Yeah, she plays naturally. She plays like young males, and then like she's also like the like tsundere a lot of the time.
Yeah. No, voice acting in this was very good. I thought.
Yeah.
Nobody really bad. The only thing I noticed, the only sample of the dub I got was when I watched the first 3 minutes of episode 10.5 because it's only dubbed. There is no Japanese version.
What? Really?
Yeah. It threw me for a loop because I was like, hold on a second, what is happening?
Which is also weird because a lot of the time the recap episodes are normally sub only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't bother to dub it.
But
they only dubbed this.
What an oddity this anime is.
Truly.
This is a really cool relic of anime history.
Yeah. Okay, Mike. Character designs.
Yes.
Let's talk about Klaus. Klaus looks like a werewolf, and I thought he was a werewolf.
Yeah.
No, he just has an underbite. That's all.
And fangs.
But
bottom fangs.
Yeah.
Not top fangs. Yeah. Vampires top fangs.
Let me read.
Werewolves bottom fangs.
Yeah. Let me just quickly read his character description.
Okay.
A large, very powerful man with a distinctive underbite. He is very well composed and gentlemanly and honest to a fault. He's your classic character who doesn't look like how he acts. You know, Don't judge that book by its cover, so to speak.
He's like Beast from the X-Men.
Yeah, he's just like Beast. That's a good comparison. I character designs were all really good. They were all distinct, easy to tell apart. Even the twins, they gave the twins different colored eyes. One was a girl with long hair, one was a boy with shorter hair, so that was also easy to tell them apart. But the manga villains as well had a cool look to them. Everybody looked cool. Lots of cool monster designs as well.
They look distinct too. Like I was never like, wait, these two characters look the same.
Yeah, you could always tell them apart. I think it's just a personal thing, but I didn't really care for like the art style of this one. And I just don't, something about like that bones and like the look of this, it's just something I don't really like. And I think that's just a personal thing for me because I saw a lot of people really do like it, and hearing you two both kind of go on about how you like it. But it's just, to me, I just kind of...
I can hear you.
I didn't vibe with the art style of this. I felt like the aliens in particular too. It was weird. It was like I was watching My Hero Academia where like they're walking in the crowd and there's just like a giant bug man. And it just kind of felt like they were just like so bright compared to I don't know. It just didn't visually look pleasing to me, this anime, for some reason. Even though like, and we'll talk about it in the animation section, like it's done really well. It's just it's just something about bones. They do it like this, and it's a personal thing. I just don't like it.
Yeah, maybe you just don't like. Maybe you just don't like bones.
It could be.
We're discovering things about each other here.
We're learning.
We're learning things today.
It did visually remind me of My Hero Academia a lot, though.
Yeah. I think the character, like the human characters, are less flashy than My Hero Academia. Yes. You know, like we don't got characters with like green hair or anything like that. But of course, there's the demons or aliens or whatever they are, and that's where you get a lot of the creative, wacky, crazy designs. They're just so different than the humans, and it kind of threw me for a loop, I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's important question for you both. Best boy.
Ooh.
Mike, you go first.
Why do I have to go first?
I've been going first for everything lately, so let's.
You know what, up. Jay, you go first.
No, I've been going first this whole episode.
No, Cole goes first. Cole always makes us
I'll
go first. Yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Best boy?
You just God
damn it.
This guy just throws it to us and then goes, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going with best boy inarguably. Blitz T. Abrams, who is a character who was cursed by a vampire to have very bad luck, but his superpower is essentially that he has really good luck. So things constantly happen around him and he just like barely escapes by the skin of his teeth. And it's just a funny gag to me how everybody else is constantly getting like pelted by like There's one point where like a bunch of meteors just randomly fall out of the sky and take out a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, there was that one part where like there was this giant worm thing and like a giant meteor comes and hits it. And
he's just like,
Zap's like, hold on, I want to see this. You never see this. And it's just like, it's just a gag.
Yeah, that's weird. That was close.
I did appreciate with him too. There was one scene where they're like, his nickname's Lucky, and someone's like, yeah, you never meet a guy named Lucky who's actually lucky.
But he is lucky.
Yeah.
He is lucky though.
Yeah.
Because nothing ever actually happens to him. Like you're introduced to him and like he's walking down the tarmac of an airport and then like two planes just crash into each other behind him.
But I think I interpreted that as like he's lucky, but he brings bad luck with him.
Yeah,
he's not lucky to be around. Yeah.
I also just like laughed at like how overly detailed his face was.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but like his face for whatever reason is just so much more detailed than everyone else.
He's got like that grizzled detective look.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like all the characters are designed like so differently. And yeah, he's got like this like hyper detailed grizzled gumshoe detective look to him.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, now that's enough stalling.
Okay. My best boy, I guess I'm going to go with Zap, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Zap I had the most fun with. And he's kind of a jerk, but he's still redeemable mostly. And I just personally I think I had the most fun with his whenever he was on the screen is how I felt.
Yeah. Like we said, he's the bad boy with a heart of gold.
Yeah,
essentially.
He's the comedic relief.
You know.
He is also the comedic relief too. Yeah.
Jalen.
Oh no, yeah, Jay.
No, I already went, Mike.
Yeah.
Cole, you got to go again.
Yeah.
My best boy. To round out. Everyone picked a different boy. I'm going with Leonardo.
Okay, thank you.
Just because, like, I feel like he had the most depth out of every boy in the series, aside from maybe Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I appreciated Leonardo more than I did Black, and I don't know if it's because Black was an anime original character, but I like Leonardo more.
I liked Leo. Like I would feel bad if none of us nominated him.
Leo.
Yeah, he's good. Like he'd definitely be my second choice. And he's the main character.
I feel like that's indicative of this show too, to have that we all pick different characters. Sometimes we're struggling to pick a different character, and then this one it's like it's easy. We could easily pick different characters.
Yeah.
Like as much as I complained about what's his name there, werewolf guy? Klaus.
Yeah.
He is a great boy. He is a great character.
Oh yeah, he's good too.
He just looks ugly to me is the problem.
Yeah.
But like he's a great character.
Yeah. Or even kind of the second in command, the Steven guy, like he's cool. He's got a cool power too. Like he doesn't use his hands.
Yeah.
But he freezes everything that he like steps on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool. Cool.
Okay. Best girl, of course. This is what the people have been waiting for. There's one character who's constantly stepping on other people. She's barely in it, but she's also got short hair. And her name is Chain Sumeragi.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Cole's all over
I don't know. I liked her gags too were funny. Like her power is basically she can like disappear. So she'd constantly just reappear on top of Zap, like standing on his head or something like that.
Yeah. And she was just always like constantly like Zap was being a jerk and an idiot, and she would just like come in to like put him in check basically. It was a funny gag. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just liked her design and stuff too. Yeah. She's cool. She's a cool one. Mike?
Yeah, for me, I think the obvious one is White. For me, was probably the best girl. Like she, she was kind of the centerpiece of this entire season, and she kind of had one of the better character designs in my opinion. And I think she's my best girl for that. Yeah. Anime original character. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I gotta echo Mike just because like White was the most interesting of the girls in this series or in this season. I did like Chain. I just wish we got more of her, and I feel like if we did, I probably would have picked her.
I feel like there's a lot of shows or a lot of characters like that where it was like I just didn't get enough of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I like
like,
KK too. She was cool.
Yeah.
But like if we got more, yeah. But as it stands, White just got the most development, and I got to know her the best. So
what about like the animation, the cinematography of this one? We kind of touched on it a little bit. I mean, animation wise, I think the show
Looks
is
great.
excellent.
Yeah.
We got like a lot of good sakuga during the action scenes. Comedic timing of stuff is really good too. Yeah, I
also like some good direction to it too.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Like I liked the wide shots of them walking. There was this cool shot of like a doorknob reflecting them as they reached out for it, and I thought that looked really cool.
Every time the guy used his eyes looked super cool too. Like how how it was like all like monochrome, and then you could just like see this like cool like glow to things, and like, like different auras and stuff.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, like little.
Go ahead.
The little sound effect motif that played every time he used it.
Yeah. Sound design was cool. Yeah. I thought that like, I know I kind of complained a little bit about not loving Bones stuff in general. Maybe it's just not my style. But like, I feel like they're like still a really good studio, and you could tell with this, like the Bonesness came through a lot of the time. It was just like things were animated really well. There's like a scene that really stands out in my mind where like there's one of the antagonists, one of the 13 Kings, I think they're called or something, is like driving this like big fist monster truck through the city or whatever. And it's just like, it's animated so well. It just looks awesome. And then again, like the last episode, it was delayed for like a super long time, but it was, they went all out for that last episode for like the final fights and stuff like that. So
and I mean we got the OP drop in the middle of the episode.
That was like that was after my heart right there.
Just
and
classic
I love that.
shonen.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of OP, how about that OP? How about?
Well, I know. If anything, Cole hated the song.
Yeah. I really didn't like this.
Not a huge fan of Bumpa Chicken, are you, Cole?
No, I'm not into them. JK, I love them. The OP itself was fine, I thought. I mean, the song really carried it for me. That's why I watched it every time. Because it's Bump of Chicken.
I think it's my favorite Bump of Chicken song.
You're wrong, but that's fine. We're all entitled to our opinions.
I'm wrong for saying it's my favorite.
Yes.
You're going to tell me that I'm wrong?
The OP to me was fine. What did you guys think of it?
Oh, it's good. I'd say the song honestly, for both of them, the song was the best part. Like Bumpa Chicken smashes all expectations. I gotta echo what you guys said about it. Like the song kind of carried this OP. It had cool moments. Of like, I like the part where like Leo's like standing looking around as everyone's like fighting around him. I thought that was cool. But like all like in totality, I feel like it would have been a lesser OP if it had a different song.
I think so.
I think it'd be a pretty generic OP if it did have a different song, honestly.
And let me just say the ED was better. I really liked the ED. It was a lot of fun.
When I was going into this this review, I looked up like what people were saying about it, and people like everyone was saying like the ED's their favorite part of the show.
No, and it's so cool too. Like when you come from like a scene, like a dark scene at the end of the episode, and then you just get like whiplash going into this.
It happened a few
this
times.
Fun ED.
Yeah,
but it's in like a good way.
Yeah, it just kind of brings you back up to a normal mood almost.
Well, it's like the contrast is cool. Yeah, and it almost makes me feel worse. Like I feel like worse when something bad happens, and then like, oh, here's the happy song.
Yeah.
So,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, you're kind of like. You're like watching this happy thing, and it almost like reminds you that you're not happy in a way. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it felt good in my heart.
But like I remember, the only thing I knew about this show when Jay picked it was that like previous guest on our podcast, Duck Crumbs, Brenna had like said like, yeah, this ED was like one of her favorites, and I see why. I definitely see why.
Yeah. I've definitely seen this one come up before.
Yeah.
On ED lists, and for good reason.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the plot a bit. What plot?
I mean, I guess there's a little bit of that plot at the end.
There really is no plot to this show other than the original stuff. There's little stories. I like the story of the mushroom alien thing.
That was probably my favorite episode.
Probably my favorite episode.
It was the best episode for sure.
And then all of the stuff with Mary and William and Leo and stuff like that. So yeah, plot wise is probably one of the weaker elements of this show. Unfortunately,
I feel like it was pretty hit or miss. Like there were some plots, like again the mushroom alien guy plot, that were really good and really well done. You really felt for the characters, and there were other ones that you were just kind of like, I do not care what's happening right now at all. I don't care about any of this, and it's just you kind of just check out and you're just like whatever. But like each set piece was kind of cool in its own way because like the characters were interesting enough and like all that stuff. But yeah, the plot is definitely like if it did not have the overarching black and white plot going on, the anime original plot, it'd be a pretty tough watch, honestly.
Yeah. To be honest, it wasn't the easiest watch for me anyway.
It's so episodic.
And I kind of wondered if a lot of it had to do with the fact that they were just jumping all around doing different chapters.
Definitely.
It was so disjointed.
100%.
It was so disjointed.
Yeah.
I was waiting for something to happen and like
and like connections
everything just kind of
happen.
returns to normal at the end.
Yeah.
I will say like despite all of that, it did get me interested in reading the manga solely because like I want to see what was left out, if it was they cut it because like they wanted to trim fat, or if they cut it because like they wanted to do something else.
It's very curious. Like it also made me curious in the manga, and it deceived me because I was like, oh, there's only 30 chapters. That's interesting.
So there are 3 seasons of it, and like the 3rd season is currently publishing. So
yeah, of the manga. You mean. Yeah,
okay. Of the manga. Yeah.
But like it's 30 chapters of just the one that this current like is Blockade Battlefront. Season 1 is 30 chapters, but the chapters, it's like 3 volumes or 3 chapters per volume. So they're like 50 to 60 page chapters. Like they're long.
Because it released in a quarterly magazine.
Yeah,
So like
they're girthy.
the chapters came out like 4 times a year.
Oh,
yeah, because I went to read it and I was like, oh, it's short. And then I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, it's not short. And then
I get it.
Yeah.
But what about like thematic stuff in this one? Like, are we what are we picking up on this?
There was a bit of like family in there.
That's the big one. I was gonna say
and
like
then
found family kind of thing.
Yeah.
The other one, found family, and then like family just in general. But the other one I picked up on, and it's not really like a theme, but more of like a
message,
a hidden idea in there. Was the city of Hell Salem Lot is kind of like a caricatured imagining of what modern America would look like to someone who doesn't normally see a world full of diversity, if that makes sense.
Whoa.
Okay. That like, it's funny. I was following Jay and then all of a sudden it got like, oh, that's deep. Okay.
Yeah,
that's big.
Like,
that got a lot
like,
bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I
like,
kind of get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, like,
you're not wrong.
It just caught me off guard.
Say,
No.
You just like you see Hell Salem Lot, and like there's like tons of different people and characters from all different walks of life.
Yep.
And like I just think like how this creator's like from a country where everyone is kind of from the same place, so it must be a very different viewpoint.
And
I thought you were going to go somewhere where like Hell Salem's Lot is purgatory. I thought that's kind of where you were going to go with it. But it was whoa, okay. This is like a metaphor for
diversity and stuff. And like to your point too, like there are like people of different skin color, even like the humans in this one, and they're not like oftentimes anime will like caricaturize them in like a way that's
Mhm.
kind of like that feels wrong. And like in this one it's like oh no, they're just like normal people. They're not
Yeah.
caricatures, which is like
Yeah.
refreshing and good. Especially for
Yeah.
like an older anime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
could just like I could also see like a little bit of that on the nose, like, oh, they're aliens kind of thing, which
Yeah.
might rub you the wrong way, but
oh, you're talking about like
Mhm.
the literal aliens though, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they aliens though? Like I kind of got the
I don't
sense
know what
more
they
that they were
were.
like demons.
They
Like,
were
they
kind
Yeah,
came
I
of
guess it could be
from-
that too.
they're kind of all over the damn place. Like
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
this
know.
whole anime
But
is
I mean-
pretty all over the place, to be
Yeah.
honest.
At the same time, like the Trigun creator, from what I've read, is a big America stan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So like I
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
even from Trigon.
Yeah.
You get a lot of
Yeah.
that.
The
well-
big theme that I can think of would be like just because you've kind of lost something doesn't mean you can't kind of grow from it, I think is something that I picked up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like there's a lot of characters
I
that
get
deal
that.
with loss in this, and they kind of like the big plot point that they deal with is kind of like learning to live with that loss and move on. And
Mm.
part of that's the anime original plot a little bit, but like even our main guy kind of does that too. And like, yeah, that was a big one I found too. Even like Mushroom Guy there kind of does it a little bit, where he like erases people's memories and they kind of just like go back to just, you know, the way things were. And it was
Oh
like,
man,
yeah,
when they go and they share those hamburgers together. At
I
the
know.
end of that episode.
that was.
Oof.
If you're gonna watch one episode of this show, that's just go watch whatever episode
Yeah.
the Mushroom Man is, because that's a good.
Watch the
that's a
one with the
damn-
Mushroom Man,
damn
and
good
they share
episode of anime.
hamburgers.
Yeah. And the great thing is the hamburgers are called like, I forget what it was, but they always called it, I'll have a double quarter pounder with large peps, please.
Peps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Great episode.
God,
All
it's
right,
like
well,
burgers.
let's wrap this.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this bad boy up like a burger.
Yep.
yeah.
Mike,
with
what
the
are your
side of
final
fries.
thoughts?
No, Cole, you
And
go
a side of
first for the
fries.
final thoughts.
Oh.
You never go first.
Okay, me first.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of alluded to it. I did have a tough time watching this, but I feel like the show really finished strong. It wasn't all bad. Like, you have good moments and stuff. This show would have worked really well if you were just watching it on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Unfortunately, when we do a review, we have to binge it. That's just the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. I like the characters. There's a lot of them. I like the different dynamics that different characters have. I like the animation. I like the world that this takes place in. It was really just kind of the pacing of this show that held me back. I would probably lean towards, I'd consider continuing, I would say.
Mhm.
I'm not, it didn't tickle my jimmies per se. There were bits and pieces that did, but I'm not willing to just write it completely off, is what I would say. So keep it short and sweet for my final thoughts. Consider continuing. Jay?
Yeah, this show, I'm very conflicted about this show because, like, I feel like this show tried to be two different things, and it excelled in some areas of the two things it tried to be and faltered in others. On the one hand, it has a really interesting world and a world that I want to see more of, but the narrative that came in at the end and kind of ran through the entirety of the show got in the way of that a little bit. On the other hand, the narrative was probably the most interesting part of the show, as like a running thing. But it was hindered by the fact that a lot of the show was episodic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it did make me want to check out the manga, which is what an anime is supposed to do. I love the soundtrack of this show. as well. We didn't talk about soundtrack.
Yeah, we forgot.
But I
to.
do love the soundtrack of this show.
Soundtrack was actually like a
JOS2
high
was
point
good.
for sure.
I think like it even we often say like this is the most blank soundtrack. I'd say this soundtrack more gave the show more character.
Yes.
If you like jazz, if you like the Cowboy Bebop OST,
it's kind of Cowboy Bebop-y, yeah, a little bit,
yeah,
but
I
like
think you'd like this one.
also mixes in some like kind of like punky American.
A little bit.
Again, it's very like America-phile-y.
It's very New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I like what this show is trying to do. I just wish that it had more of a direction for it. But it did tickle my jimmies just a little bit.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
I think, so I guess it's my turn. I think you guys have honestly like said a lot of my thoughts already. And I feel like we're all kind of on the same page, just with like a slightly different scale of like how much we enjoyed it really. And
Mike's going to give it certified.
No, Mike's going to give it Y.
So if you're not familiar with our scale, it goes from Y to would have dropped to consider continuing to tickled our jimmies to Anipro certified. And my one note that I wrote about this show is interesting. The policemen drive Dodge Chargers, and it's like just straight up a Dodge Charger, which I was like not expecting to see in an anime. It threw me for a loop.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. I was like, that's a weird bit of like, is it product placement or does he just really like America? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
I think this was an interesting anime. I completely agree with Jay that the world is interesting, and like I just kind of wish it had better direction and was a little more coherent, because it just kind of, like Cole alluded to, the pacing kind of lost me because it was episodic, and as a binge, episodic is tough. And I'm just like not generally a person that loves episodic stuff, but like I kind of see what they were going for. I really liked the directorial choice to like include this anime original storyline, because they're kind of like, I think they kind of saw like, oh, okay, we need to tie together all these random stories with something. And they created these two characters and kind of seamlessly incorporated them in the show, which I give them props for that, because I feel like you if you didn't know that, if you didn't see any of the popular like threads about it, you probably wouldn't pick up on that was their anime original characters. At the end of the day, this is a review. I have to give my final thought, and I'm just going to cut it short here. And truly in my heart, if I had just started this and put it on my Crunchyroll and just started watching it, I'm so close between like a would have dropped or a consider continuing, but I think I'm going to watch the second season just to say I did. Yeah. So I guess consider continuing, I think I'm going to go with, but I could have, I honestly feel like I might have dropped it though.
I feel like I may have as well, but like I'm glad that I didn't.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
end is strong.
Yeah,
the end is strong to this one.
I feel like I would have dropped it at like episode 4 or 5, and I'm glad I didn't. So that's why it's getting a considering continuing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, we have one more show that we have to. Let us know what you thought of.
Yeah. Comment below what you thought about it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And also, Your Line April's coming up as well. Max.
Yes.
Hey, no, don't worry. We'll do that too. Well,
I'm very worried.
Anyway,
we got one more show that we've got to nominate here.
Do you want to reveal what the theme is before you forget?
No. I'll do it after I announce the show.
Guess the theme, by the way, right in the comments.
Guess the theme. Yeah. Guess the theme. I will reveal it.
Yeah. So far we've got
don't cheat.
Serial Experiments Lane. No, that's incorrect.
We got Vivi, and Serial
Experiments Lane.
Yeah.
And this show.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 22 episodes. I'm so sorry.
I know what it is.
Bryce. It's from 2003.
Okay.
It's from Studio Madhouse. So I mean, hey, we're talking early Madhouse here, boys.
Okay.
Turn of the century Madhouse. Without further ado, let me just read the synopsis. It's a long one. I'm so sorry. In a man-made underground society, descendants of a banished generation vie for control of the crumbling city of Lux. Ichisei, an orphan turned prize fighter, loses a leg and an arm to satisfy an enraged fight promoter. On the brink of death, he is taken in by a young woman doctor and used as a guinea pig for the next evolution of please forgive me, this is a tough one, Texhonalize. Texhonalize?
What?
With his new limbs, Ichisei is taken under the wing of Unishi, a powerful leader of Organ, an organization with some hold on Lux. Blah, 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 blah.
This is long.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just say the show I'm nominating is Texhonalize. Texhonalize. TEXHNOLYZE. It'll be in the description, I'm sure.
Yes, it will.
Something.
It
Yeah.
will. Yes.
But yeah, I wanted to nominate this one. It seems very cyberpunky to me. It's Madhouse, 2003 Madhouse. It's got an average score of 76. Yeah, what's not to love?
It looks cool. It actually looks really cool. Like it's got that like retro anime aesthetic to it that's always like great, and it's just like seems like really cool visual stuff with kind of like it's honestly kind of trippy to look. Like I'm watching the trailer right now on the thing, and it's like it looks like a visual trip, and I'm kind of here for it.
And I
By
mean,
the director of
we got
Steins Gate.
yeah, we got underground cities. We got people being abused by organizations. We got somebody who's a prophet who I didn't get to in the description. If this doesn't get nominated, I'm probably just going to watch this anyway and let you guys know. I'm going to review this.
You're going to like basically force us to listen to your review of it in your What's on Your Mind section.
It's also the same person who wrote Serial Experiments Lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it looks like Lane too in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's also interesting too because it's like I'm reading like the stuff on the AniList page here, and the reviews are fate, values, and evolution. A story about what makes us human, and that just like intrigues me because it's just like so grand, so grandiose.
Yeah.
And then there's also whosoever has rejected their baptism into a world of everlasting comfort has embraced a love of their own fate.
Yeah, and as soon as I see stuff that's like so like wanky like that, where it's just like, I'm so smart. I'm just gonna let you know how smart I am. I'm just like, oh boy, this is
that
a
guy
heavy
is
one.
holding. Let me just say that guy's hand is not empty. He's holding something and perhaps stroking it.
His massive brain. He's like,
his brain.
I need to hold it up.
Yes.
God.
I gotta hold my head up.
Yeah.
Which head?
Whoa.
Okay. Anyway.
Whoa.
Thank you. Oh no, Jay, I did almost forget.
See,
I did almost forget. Okay, so those three shows. Hey, it's Cyberpunk. It was my turn to pick a theme, so we went with the theme of Cyberpunk as the theme for listener's choice. So voting will begin in a couple weeks, probably a week or two.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So go out there and vote. We have reviews coming up. Our next manga review is City from 2016. Next anime review is Your Lie in April. And don't forget to vote. Once again, we've got Vivi, Fluoride Eye Song, Serial Experiments Lane, and Texhonalize. So go ahead and vote. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of AniPro. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about us. If you really like it, why don't you consider supporting us like these lovely people? Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Brain Dead, B-Dog, Peach, Frama, Kratos, Just Juzz, Mogmog, Frieren's Feet, Antonio Bustos, Uncle of Light, and Super Mexi. By supporting us on Patreon, you get access to all sorts of perks, and it really helps out the show. That's us. We're also on social media at AniProPod, and please join our Discord community to keep up with us and other listeners. Links to everything is in our description or at our website, AniProPod.com. Mike, I see the wheel is spinning. That's the old wheel. That's the wheel that kicked you off your chair. Why don't you take us out, Mike?
Yeah, this
Lead
wheel.
us in a round
You see
of
this wheel?
bye-byes.
Do you remember the time when I fell off my chair? It'll never happen again because I don't have this wheel anymore.
What do you say to that wheel?
You know what? This wheel.
Oh,
See you later. Anipro out. Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.